Like Jackson Dart is effectively the future of the franchise, and you got to get him in there. And you got to get him some games. Like, don't get him killed, obviously. Like, don't do anything like that. But you have Jameis Winston there that can be a coach. Russell Wilson's a good guy to learn from. But Jackson Dart, what we've seen in the preseason, the dude's got it, man. Like, he's everything that you wish that you would get out of like a young quarterback, where he's in the game and he's actually showing you some stuff. Jackson Dart is done.
Yeah, no, I can't disagree anymore. I mean, I can't agree anymore with you. My apologies. He literally has. He stepped up to the plate, and the best part about it, we don't need him to play this year, and we don't need him to get out of his comfort zone too fast. But I'll tell you what, he looked super exciting. Russell came in through that 80-yard bomb, which was in the air for about 60 yards. Hats off to Russell for the gun still, the moon ball, as what's that? Chris, I forget his name. Says anyway.
Announcer?
Yeah, the announcer.
What's his name?
Collinsworth?
Yeah,
Collinsworth.
Chris Collinsworth. Thank you. He calls it those moon balls. But I like the fact of Dart hitting his crossing routes, hitting the tight end on the outside. I'm excited, but I don't want to be. It's still preseason, and I don't want to just be like overblown with excitement. But it's getting there. It's the tipping point for me. I'm all in, really.
No pun intended. Or
Hey.
See what he did there? See what he did?
So for me, like, if we, I don't want to sound like a jerk, but we know like the Giants are going to be the worst team in that division, right? If they're that far out of it, and like if they got injuries along the offensive line, I'm not bringing in Jackson Dart at all, right? Like you got to make sure you're protecting your investment. So like for me, there's no real need to do that, because you do have Russell Wilson who can get you through those things. Jackson Dart can sit on the sideline, learn all of Patrick Mahomes from a veteran quarterback who's been in the league for a while, right? That's the ideal way that you want it with Jackson Dart. But if they've got a chance, why wouldn't you roll the dice on him? You know what I mean?
I mean, it's a story old as time. It's the same thing like Jordan Love, how great Jordan Love is, and how he is progressing in the NFL now as the franchise quarterback. You know, he had that talent when he came into the league, but they sat him behind Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers, obviously one of the best quarterbacks to ever play the game, but you learn so much regardless. You know, I'd rather have him sit. Remember Josh Allen? All right, so perfect example. Josh Allen, first-round talent, first year with the Bills. He's
a little shaky. Yeah.
But he was forced out there. He didn't have the receiving weapons. I think the Giants are actually doing themselves a great service by going out and getting number one last year in Malik Neighbors, padding the offensive line, and then jumping back at the end of the first round to go and get Dart. And then double down in the second with Cam Scatterbo. So I'm happy. I'm happy the way the draft turned out. I'm happy the way the preseason's turning out. Fingers crossed, the Giants will be at least the third best in the NFC East.
And the thing that's like with the Giants that I don't think people are giving them enough credit for, that defense is going to be terrifying. Like that defensive line gives you a lot of like Eagles last year type vibes, man. Like they're going to have a great defensive line. I think they're going to have a great defensive season. It's just, I think if like it was Jackson Dart's second or third year and he was a starter, I'd be much more willing to be like, yeah, they're going to be a team, they're going to be a contender. But it's Russell Wilson, and we haven't seen Russell Wilson be great in a while. And it's Jameis Winston. And let's be honest, if Jameis Winston's playing games for the Giants, something went terribly wrong.
I mean, it's a fair assessment, but then you look back at last season and see that Russell and Justin Fields brought the Pittsburgh Steelers to a playoff matchup.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken. Or did they miss it? No, they made it.
Yeah,
they the skin of their teeth.
But how much of that is also Mike Tomlin just has some sort of
Of course. But I think I agree with the defense. I agree with the offense. I mean, it's almost like you don't believe it until you see it. But for those that are playing fantasy and watch the amount of rookie tape that we watch and go through the fantasy highlighted players of the offense, you're like, wait a minute. There's really no way that the Giants are going to be at least better than they were last year. What they finished, they won 3 or 4 games tops last year.
Yeah.
I think we have the hardest schedule in the NFL this year. We're doomed. So I don't mind saying, oh, if we win 3 or 4 games this year and still get a top 5 pick, I'm okay with that, because that I know is going to just add logs on the fire for next season.
And like the comment that's there, was it John Swanson being like the Giants next year or 2 may look like the Bears this year? I agree with that 100%. Like, the future for the Giants is looking bright. This might be the end of, like I always talk about Shawshank Redemption, crawling through the sewer. Like this may be the end. They got the light at the end of the tunnel. Like, they might be there. Setting up what we mentioned earlier. They're probably going to win a Super Bowl at the end of this decade. Like, I got faith in them winning a Super Bowl.
Chalking it up for 2029.
There we go.
Yeah, right, maybe 2028. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what kind of extension Dart gets.
I feel like we're against the wall 2029. Like, that's a little too close to it.
Yeah, I don't know if I can save the tape for that long here. I think eventually.
I mean, we'll all be in the same place regardless, right?
Yeah, God willing. So,
let me acknowledge Jerry Jones is the owner of the Dallas Cowboys, hating life. So yeah, we'll all be in the same place.
Yeah. So real quick, let me just acknowledge the chat real quick, and then I have a question I want to run by you guys. So, sure. Stu the dog, thanks for joining us. I was hoping the Bears would nab Scatterbo. Yeah, that would have been nice if he would have been able to fall to us, but didn't quite happen that way. Eventually, we did get a running back though. Russell Wilson looks pretty good, and Dart has an arm. Yeah, you ain't lying there.
I thought the Bears were going to get Caleb Johnson, to be honest.
Dude, I was hoping for that as well. There was a lot of running backs who I would have been okay with and stuff, but just seeing them go off the board one after another right before their picks is just like, fuck. So, yeah. But like I said, we'll see what the kid from Rutgers can do. So
Deion Hankins, don't sleep on Deion Hankins. That's going to be a dude for y'all.
I like Mononga, what he did.
He got a little necked up. He wasn't able to play this last game, so that was very unfortunate. But in order, like, he's in one of those spots where it's like, damn, he has to be on the field in order for us to kind of say that he can be earn a roster spot in a sense. So if not, then we can only hope that we can keep him for the practice squad, in the break in case of emergency. So. And then Mr. Swanson, thank you for joining us as well. I really do appreciate it. And
shout out my guy.
Yes, absolutely. Whenever any of your guys, like I said, the invitation I extended out to you guys, Swanson and Juan, if you ever want to be on here to chop it up and talk football, if you have the time, please let me know, and we'll get you in the clubhouse. So, and then, Stewart was confirming Hawkins is injured. So, but I don't think it's a serious injury. So. But I did want to ask you guys, as far as draft strategy, do you guys can it be a little bit challenging at times from going to maybe doing a few weeks or a few consecutive drafts of like dynasty drafts, and then all of a sudden you mix in a draft to where it's a redraft league, to where it's like how the levels of where you draft rookies and whatnot is not in the same type of rounds and whatnot. So how do you guys fucking stay focused and determined on not overdrafting on a certain rookies and whatnot, depending on what kind of draft you're in?
Well, I mean, I have a perfect example of this. We talked about like my dynasty leagues and my rookie drafts, and they amp up. And I'm a part of Scott Fishbowl. I don't know if you guys have heard of it. It is the biggest fantasy league in the world. Over 10,000 entries. Only a certain amount of invites actually get sent out. I think it's about maybe 6,000 people actually get an invite. Major leagues all across the world, live drafts. It's amazing. Check it out, scottfish.com. Or scottfishbowl.com. Sorry. Anyhow, that is my first redraft. That is the start of my redraft research time, Once I do that, and that started, I guess mid-July, like July 20th or something like that, along the lines of that. So as soon as that happens, I flip the switch. I go full redraft for a couple weeks. I don't worry about my dynasty trades. Anybody that's trading in the first week of the preseason in dynasty, you're doing it wrong. Unless you're making capital, then you're doing it right. Um, but yeah, like that's my
Always a caveat.
first stop on the list. And yes, you're right. You get rookie crazy, but I think at the same time, you have a leg up on your competition if you're studying the rookies during March in the combine, April at the draft. You are seeing them go in your rookie drafts, and then rookie camp, OTAs, and then the first couple of weeks in training camp. You're like, okay, I know the guys I want to target. I know their value, and I see their ADP. I just hope their ADP stays where it is until my drafts come up for redraft.
So
Yeah.
what you were talking about earlier there. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, and like I was gonna say, it's the exact same thing, right? As long as you have like your strategy, you stick to your strategy, you've done like your research on everything, you should be fine. Especially like I know redraft leagues, it always feels like if one rookie goes off the board, you start seeing a slew of rookies going off the board, and it makes you kind of want to go get your guy a little early. Like if you have your strategy, I think you'll be fine, man. Like that's all it comes down to. If you've done the research, you've done the things you want, you can get a really good rookie running back, receiver, something like that in the later rounds, and your team will be absolutely solid.
Agreed.
Yep. So I wanted to add some trades for us to kind of look over in Dynasty and whatnot to kind of break them down and give our opinions on which side of the trade that we like better. But before we get into that, I just want to break down week 2 a little bit. Some of the rookies or maybe some of the players that stood out to you at all. Maybe Travis Hunter. I know Travion Henderson didn't have quite the explosive game that he had the first week, but is there any other rookies or any other players that kind of stood out to you that you'd be targeting specifically in this draft, Coach Chef? Or not Coach Chef, but Chef James?
I mentioned him earlier. Caleb Johnson finally showed up for us in preseason week 2, 4.5 yards per carry. That is Caleb Johnson. Don't be mistaken by the first week of preseason. Maybe he wasn't getting it right. Maybe he missed too much pass protection. This guy can do it all, and it's only a matter of time before he takes it away from Jaylen Warren. I still believe year 1, it's going to be a split backfield in the sense of carries. You could probably say, I don't know, 180 to 210, split.
Mm-hmm.
So what, 60-40, 55-45, however you want to chop it up. But I believe you'll see Caleb Johnson really working. He's got the vision. He's patient. What does that remind you of? Another Pittsburgh Steeler running back like Le'Veon Bell that just sat there and schmoozed his way through the offensive line. It looked like he was just walking on air. That's what Caleb Johnson reminds me of while he's sitting back there making a decision. But the only thing that he has that Le'Veon Bell doesn't is that burst, that drop on a dime burst. I think Caleb Johnson's going to be turning some heads finally the first time for an Iowa running back to actually do something in the NFL.
There we go. Mike, any particular players or rookies that kind of stood out to you week 2 or that you're looking to draft in these fantasy drafts?
If you want value with somebody, I would go with like Jaden Blue, right from the Cowboys. It's not just me being a Cowboys fan. Like I feel like they're not going to rely on Miles Sanders and Javonte Williams as long as like for the whole season. And I think Blue is a more complete back than both those guys. Plus, he's got a ton of burst to him. Like we're talking about that breakaway speed. The Dallas Cowboys offensive line is a lot better this year, and they're healthier this year. A healthy Dak Prescott means you can't just stack the box against the run. So I feel like they're going to have a lot of opportunities to break the game wide open with the running game. So at value, that's someone that I would go with. And then I was going to go with Scatterboo as well. Like Scatterboo, that to me is that should be one of, if not, I can't say the first, but it would be one of the top guys if you're drafting rookies that I'd be going after.
And then I'll throw a deep one out there for you, like last pick of your draft. Damian Martinez.
Yeah.
He is just starting to really, really grow on me. And he's got the talent. And I get it. He wasn't that high of a pick. Well, I think he went in third, fourth round, something like that. He is what I'm keeping my eye on because he has the 3-down skill set. All right. Zach Charbonnet is there. He's not going anywhere, but limited in a sense. Kenneth Walker has yet to touch the practice field in the preseason.
Even when he does get on the field, though, he tends to get injured.
And he's not going to carry exactly. So he's not going to carry a full season. So at some point, we are going to see Damian Martinez hop on this field. And if we're talking, obviously we're talking redraft right now, but just to lean back towards the dynasty standpoint, he's going to be in there soon. And Kenneth Walker's in a contract year.
Gotcha. So this may be the last we see of Kenneth Walker.
This might be no, not the last we see of him, but this may be the last we see of him in a Seahawks jersey this season.
Right. That's what I was saying in Seattle.
Right on.
And I would also say, like, another guy that you got is Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt from DC, right? Brian Robinson holding out. There's all this talk about he might be, on the way out as well. Austin Eckler, a little bit older. We saw last year was injured a whole bunch. So that means Krosky-Merritt might get a lot more carries.
Bill. That's a lot. Bill Merritt.
He's going to get a whole bunch of carries.
I do like this name here that Amp put up there. I can't say the first name, but Tipton from
Bashal Tootin.
That guy, yes. He looked pretty good against Jacksonville last week. He found the end zone and seems to be a very hard runner. I know he had one of the fastest 40-yard dashes during the Columbine as well. So, he's got some rockets.
That's who I picked up with my last pick in my recent dynasty draft. That's who I picked up with my last pick.
Very nice. Very nice. With dynasty leagues, especially with the independent defensive players, how do you value or how do you rank a guy like Travis Hunter, since he has the potential to play obviously both sides of the ball? Like, how tempting is it? Like, how early do you feel comfortable getting a guy like that in these dynasty leagues?
He's a unicorn, number one.
Yes.
Number two, I spent the 104 on him.
Okay.
In my IPP Superflex auction league, contract league. Yeah, I locked him up. I was not letting him get by. See you later, bye. I mean, I think I had 3 first-round picks. One was the 101. Obviously, Genty fell to me, and I was happy about that. But Travis Hunter, I picked up, and then I picked up Judkins, and I'm just waiting. But that's another story. Go ahead.
That's pretty nice. Pretty nice rookie draft you had there, Chef. So we had Tipton. Before I get to a question in the chat, what are your thoughts on Travis Hunter as far as in dynasty leagues? How much do you value a unicorn like that?
I mean, it's a unicorn, dude. Like, if you got a chance to get him, you got to go and get him, especially in a dynasty league, because if he has a few good games, you might just be able to put him out on like the trade block, see what you can get for him. And because he's a unicorn, some people are more than likely going to overpay. So you could trade bait him, or you can just have him on the team, dude. Like, I think it's a win-win no matter what you do with Travis Hunter, because it's a one of one. Like you can't, like there's so much, like you're not going to get another position like that, man.
Yeah, very true. Hopefully his body can withstand the NFL type of game, though, playing on both sides of the ball. So
I did hear recently that they are going to play him, and I'm waiting for it. And it could happen as fast as week 1. He is definitely going to be out there on both third downs.
Nice.
Wow. Okay.
So I think they're going to have him back there, shadow coverage, just waiting to pick somebody off, and they're gonna see it, and they're gonna be like, okay, we need to put Travis in here, and he's just gonna wind up picking the ball and running it for a pick 6. I'm waiting for it. It's gonna happen. Just mark your calendar.
And Commish, as you know, on my show, our second favorite team is the Jacksonville Jaguars. So the future is bright for our Jaguars, man.
Yeah, that's right. You are getting the second team. I forgot that was your official AFC team. You're right.
Yes, the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Is that official? Did they get back to you and whatnot? Right?
They have gotten back to me on a few things. They've sent me a little package for some of the.
Are you going to London?
Yeah, so I'm trying to get that London thing going.
That's
It'll
cool.
be the second time that I go to the Jaguars approved me to go to London.
Very nice, very nice.
Nice.
Yeah. Let me know how the fish and chips are over there. So,
Not eating
question coming in from the chat here. In a keeper league, would you keep Chase Brown or Mark Andrews? Chase Brown all day for me, but it would help to know what round you really kind of got him in. But Chase Brown is definitely poised to have a big year, and Andrews just seems to be on the downside of his career. Unless it's a tight end premium, then you kind of got me interested in maybe a little.
Nah,
but
not even, unless it's like 2.5 points per reception and 12 points for a touchdown. I'm not keeping Mark Andrews. You could find the same equal play somewhere later in your drafts. I mean, we're talking rookies, Tyler Warren, Colston Loveland, you should be a fan there. Mason Taylor. We could name a couple of them, but I think it's hands down Chase Brown, no matter what.
Yeah, like I can't even see why this would be a hard decision, man. Unless you really love Mark Andrews. Like, I get it. A couple of years ago, he might have popped off for your fantasy team. Last year, he kind of took a big step back, man. Like, Chase Brown's got a big future ahead of him. Like, I don't even see how this is a debate.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Likely eventually takes over that.
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna say. He's already kind of their number one tight end.
Likely's a little banged up right now. He got hurt in OTAs, I believe it was, and he is gonna miss some time. But regardless of the fact, like I think it just shows that Zay Flowers might actually have more targets. He's already a positional receiver regardless, and that's what they do in Baltimore. They want to run the ball and they want to throw it deep when it pleases him. Like that's pretty much it. I think Mark Andrews, he's still going to live towards the 20 zone and inside the 10. We get around that red zone, he's going to make plays. But like you said, Mike, his days of just slaying the dragon are far behind him.
Very cool. All right. Well, let's break down a few of these trade offers that I was able to pull up on Sleeper, some dynasty leagues. Look them over and kind of give me your thoughts on which side of the trade do you guys like a bit more. And like I said, Mike, we did this a little bit last week, so I'm sure you're very, very familiar with how this goes. So here we go. First one to kind of review and look over here.
Oh man, I gotta get my other glasses on. Hang on a second.
Yeah, my bad. Let me blow it up here. So I'll tell you here.
No, that's all right. That's all right. I'll move my screen over.
So on one side we got.
I'll let you know it's Jahmyr Gibbs and Jamar Chase for 4 2026 first round draft picks.
Is that enough to get it done there? I mean, you're two primetime guys and whatnot. Do you value this upcoming draft, these rookies coming up next year, that much to justify getting rid of these studs to build up your team for next year?
No. I mean, you have Jahmyr Gibbs on your team. You have Jamar Chase on your team. I mean, what don't you have on your team that you need 4 first-round picks?
That's what I was about to say, man. Like, how bad is the rest of your team if that's
I mean, did you sell the farm for some magic beans that you need those first 4? I don't care if they're the first 4 first rounders. All right, because even then you're losing value.
Okay.
I would want 101s for Jamar Chase, 2 years worth at least. And then Jahmyr Gibbs, okay, I can see him going for 2 first rounders, maybe not 2 high-end first rounders even. Just because there's that if factor with David Montgomery, how the offensive line switch is going to affect the Lions this year. There are a couple question marks. However, dude showed out and he has the upside of a top 3 running back. So no, I'm out.
Also, it would depend on what the rest of the team looks like, right? Like, if those are the only 2 studs and you've got, like, I can't even think of like a quarterback that's bad enough that you would want to get, like, because I can see upside.
Daniel Jones.
Yeah, if Daniel Jones and Anthony Richardson is all you got, then maybe we start making some of these trades, right? But I feel like if you've got those two guys, you've got a legitimate shot at winning the championship. And all those first round picks to me, like maybe all 4 of those first round picks for Jamar Chase, like, right? But not like that, man. I know Anthony Stewart's over here saying, yeah, you absolutely make that trade. I don't know, man. That's not enough for me.
No. I mean, you're literally killing your chances. You're killing your chances of winning.
You're punting on the season.
That is the bad thing about that, is you're not getting anything that can help you this current year by doing that trade. You're basically, it seems like you're punting at the beginning of the season, this season already. So by doing that, but
like you're willing to give up the number 1 wide receiver in the league more than likely, because Joe Burrow is going to be tossing that ball a million times a game, and a dude that's a top 3 running back probably type of guy. You have to have a pretty solid team around them, right? Like you can't be giving up on the season this early. It hasn't even started.
There's no way. I mean, if you look back, the guy had some serious first round picks to begin with. I mean, you didn't get Jamar Chase late. The latest you got him, was 106, because he wasn't catching passes in preseason his rookie year.
Yeah.
And the same thing with Jahmyr Gibbs. He was a top 3 pick. So, yeah, I mean, whoever it was that is even thinking about making this trade, they need to rethink how they look at Dynasty.
Also, at the very least, that guy's team that he has that many first-round picks. Jesus.
Well, that's just, I mean, he may have just been doing a lot of wheeling and dealing to where he's
he had to
other people's first-round picks and all.
Yeah, but that's what I'm talking about. Like, even if he has like Jamar Gibbs and or Jahmyr Gibbs and Jamar Chase, like, it's probably not going to make that team much better. Because he must have traded away everybody to get those first round picks. Maybe. And that's, I mean, that comment right there saying that the Bengals defense is the worst you've seen in years, that just means there's going to be a ton of opportunity for the offense, right? Like, they're probably going to be playing from behind a lot. That's what helped out Joe Burrow's stats last year be as inflated as they were, is the only opportunity they had, the only chance they had of being close in those games was that he had to throw the ball 1,000 times a game.
Now, what do you guys think or do with a guy like Trey Henderson, since he's a great talent, produces numbers and whatnot, but because of the situation he's going with Cincinnati, does that give you any kind of pause or hesitation on drafting him at all? Do you see his draft value going down on dynasty leagues because of that? And a little bit is the unknown if he does get traded, what team does he get traded to? Is it really going to fit his style, or is he going to be just as productive?
I feel like his draft stock is going to go down anyway, just based off of age. He's at like an age where the drop off is more than likely around the corner anyway. If he were to get traded to a team that has like a really good other edge rusher, then maybe it takes the pressure off of him and he won't be double teamed as much type thing. But that I don't think he's going to get traded away. I do like what the Bengals are doing, like along the defensive line, at least with 2 edge rushers. You got Shamar Stewart, you got Trey Hendrickson, but I don't think that he would be like his value is not going to be what it is, not because of, you're worried about the situation that's going on with Cincinnati. I think it's because of the age, man. Like, you don't know if he's going to be able to keep that up.
Okay.
Yeah. Sure. I mean, if you have someone like that on an IDP dynasty league, you obviously have cherished the moment for quite some time. He's 30 years old. How long is he going to hold up? He obviously has one good contract left in him, and the Bengals don't want to give it to him. So hold on to your shares. I'm not trying to sell because of some bad press. He's got the talent. We didn't see him slip from that. And I think you have one last cash in. If the Bengals do not pay him, they're going to get some collateral for him. And wherever he moves, that's the point where you sell him. Get your last cash out now. It's always the last for IDP players, in my opinion, it's always on their last contract. You cash in one last time and then say goodbye, because you're never going to get it back. It's like TJ Watt. I almost sold him this year. Almost. Okay. And I was just like, you know what? I'm going to hold on one more time. And then boom, he got a 3-year extension or a 4-year extension. I'm like, this is it. Now I can just ride off into the sunset with TJ Watt on my squad.
Very nice.
And then, Trey Hendrickson is a little different because of the contract situation. But I mean, who's to say, and no offense, Mike, don't get iffy here. Who's to say that, Dallas trades someone named Micah to the Bengals for Trey Hendrickson and a pick?
Picks. I think Mike wants to hear picks, S at the end of that.
Oh, of course he does. He wants to hear multiple picks. But I mean, in a realistic world, we could actually see that. And Trey Hendrickson's stock would jump through the roof. So I don't really think it matters on where he goes. I think he still has some value left, and I'm not just going to sell on some bad press. Never sell on bad press.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, is like I don't think he's going to get traded in the first place, right? Like I think Cincinnati's asking price is too high, and the only team that I could see out there, and I've kind of floated the idea around in my own head too, would be the Cowboys. But it feels like a lateral move if you're the Cowboys. Like if you're going to get Trey Hendrickson, you're going to have to pay him. Why not just pay Micah, who's younger, who could do these things, right? Like that to me, like
the Cowboys are always win now, though.
No, they're not. The Cowboys, shit. I hate that I love this team. I genuinely do. But like Micah would be the better chance of winning now than to me Trey Hendrickson.
For sure.
And like I like the Dallas Cowboys edge rushers. I don't like the interior defense of the Dallas Cowboys. Like other than that, like if the Cowboys can get a lead, those edge rushers are going to feast, right? So they don't necessarily need Trey Hendrickson or anything like that. I think they're going to be fine.
Okay. Fair point. Let's go ahead and review another trade here. Let me pull this one up here. Let's see. This one's not as complicated here, and I'll read it out to you. We got Jason Brooks, Cole Kmet for a guy who's on the trade block in real life. Like I said, not too exciting. Brian Robinson Jr. So, like I said, what do you think of this trade? Is it anything in a dynasty league? Is there any value in Brooks or even Kmet now that Loveland's there?
Give me B-Rob all day, dude.
Yeah, I was about to say like Kmet's down the depth chart because of Loveland being there. Brooks is what, the third running back?
Not even. He's hurt again.
He's on the injured reserve. He's on the
he's hurt again. He's never going to see the field.
Yeah,
it was a wasted pick.
Like Brian Robinson Jr. might be on the way out of Washington or something, but at least he's healthy.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And
you can easily see Brian Robinson getting like picked up by the Titans.
Okay, and well, I guess it'll depend on if Spears is.
It all depends on Spears, but he's been in and out, and Tony Pollard is good, but I think there's somewhere in the NFL for B-Rob to go and still be effective, even if he comes in behind. Even say it like James Cook, which they don't need it.
I would take him in Dallas. I think he's better than what the Cowboys currently have right now. Like if you want an established back to go along with Jaden Blue, like he's better than Williams and Miles Sanders, right? Like Miles Sanders. I used to have so much faith in Miles Sanders, and it has tanked for me year after year after year.
Yeah.
Do you think he would fit in Pittsburgh with Caleb Johnson and Jaylen Warren? Because I don't know if there's much depth other than those two guys from there.
It's more or less the problem with the Pittsburgh backfield. Like they don't like to have multiple backs more than two or three on the roster. I mean, if I really wanted to go out there and place B-Rob somewhere where he's actually going to get some work, I would say Miami is one.
That's what I was thinking.
Also Green Bay. They don't really have a sure backup. Who do they have? Emmanuel Wilson backing up Josh Jacobs right now. He is a good fit there. That's pretty much the end of the list. Oh, and Dallas, of course, Dallas. I do like your mixed match with Jaden Blue there. That could be a future setting for both of those players. Yeah,
but in my mind, I've already like if the Dallas Cowboys were to make that trade, they trade like a 4th round pick or something like that to Washington to get it. That 4th round pick becomes a Hall of Famer. Like it's just it's written in the stars, man.
And Toussaint saying, Micah, the only player to have 4 12-sack seasons, 4 Pro Bowls in his first 4 years in the league. Facts.
And Commish, you've heard me say this, dude. I already believe that they have some deal going on. It's just Jerry loves being out in the public. We mentioned this last week where it was, oh, we got all this stuff going on with Micah Parsons. People are starting to not care about that anymore. Guess what, guys? I had cancer, and now it's, we're doing this thing. And then this week it's, oh, look at this awesome documentary we have. So all you Cowboys fans can go back and relive 30 years ago. You can show it to your kids, and it doesn't have to be a VHS tape. I hate that I love this team.
Buy more merchandise.
Is the series worth watching?
I haven't watched it yet because
okay. I know it's like it came out yesterday, right?
Yeah, like I'm gonna be the type of guy where, because that's my childhood, right? Like those 90s Cowboys are what
You're gonna need a box of
It was
tissues.
nostalgic. If you grew up in the 90s,
yeah. So for
I mean,
me,
even as a Giants fan, I enjoyed watching Emmitt Smith, Michael Irvin.
Oh yeah. So for me, it's going to be completely biased. Like there's no way I'd be unbiased. I'd be like, it's the most amazing documentary. I thought that about the Jordan documentary, but that's because I'm named Michael. I was born on Jordan's birthday in his rookie year, man. So like obviously I love me some Jordan. So like it was like I'm just so unbiased when it comes to those things.
Fair.
I hate the fact that I don't want to watch the documentary, but I know I'm going to force myself to watch that documentary, and I'm going to love every second of it, and it's going to make me hate what I've dealt with the last 30 years.
I know, it's like, God damn it, why can't I just go back to this time where everything made sense?
Yeah, you remember that time people actually respected the Cowboys? Man.
Everybody was afraid. They would hold up all their rings, and you'd be like, whoa.
Put down all that bright light, man. I can't see shit, all that sparkle.
Now the Eagles with their shitty ring that has wings on it, like it's so stupid.
Oh, that sounded like a hate.
Well, don't say that to Mr. Swanson. Mr. Swanson would argue about that one.
Yeah, well, I'll deal with Swanson for you, Mike. Don't worry. Don't worry.
There we go.
Man, I'm bringing Giants fans and Cowboys fans together.
I feel sympathetic for the guy. I mean, 30 years of discomfort every single year.
I've said it the whole time, right? Like I think it was up until 2017 or something like that. The Dallas Cowboys had a perfect 500 record from when they won the Super Bowl up until then. 21 years of just mediocrity. They've never been the worst team in the NFL, so they've never had a rebuild, and they've never been good enough to win a Super Bowl. We just occupy this weird random space of, we'll make the playoffs a couple of years in a row, then we're going to not make the playoffs, then we'll make the playoffs and lose in the first round because your quarterback slides with 13 seconds left and no timeouts. I really need to go to therapy.
It's kind of like what Pittsburgh's been going through lately as well, though. So
yeah, but at least they won a Super Bowl in 2010, right? Like it's within this millennia.
Yeah. You guys will get there again one day. So
yeah, one day it'll be broken. I'll probably be dead.
Let's hope not. But anyways, let's review this last one here.
Ooh, I like this
3
one.
for 3. We got on one side, we got the fucking Swift on one side, George Pickens and Tyler Warren. On the other side, we got Jameson Williams, Sam Laporta, and Caleb Johnson. So what are you guys, who do you like more on this dynasty trade?
Is it bad to say it kind of feels like a push?
It's almost a push. I'm just trying to think. I'm just trying to edge it out a little bit.
I think there's more upside with Pickens because I feel like the Cowboys offense is going to be a lot more vertical this year. But Jameson Williams is still a great wide receiver option to have, man. Like it's
I'm gonna lean the Jameson Williams side. Jameson Williams. And here's my reasoning. Okay. Laporta, established. Williams, semi-established. Caleb Johnson, longevity in a role in an offense that primarily runs the ball versus a new tight end that you may not be able to get. It may not work out. I mean, Tyler Warren, who's he working with? Daniel Jones? That's not the answer there. I think his future may be 2-3 years down the road. He may be a physical talent, don't get me wrong, but you might have to wait on him. DeAndre Swift, crooked. You know your man DeAndre Swift ain't doing shit. All right? I'm sorry. I like Ben Johnson as a coach, but I don't think it happens for DeAndre. I think there's more DJ Moore on your offense than everybody understands.
Okay.
And then who was the last piece of that one?
Pickens.
Pickens.
You lost dynasty value when Pickens turned into a number 2 wide receiver. You're hoping this year that he picks up some of that value that he lost. And yes, I believe he will. I think he is going to be an asset for Dak Prescott and really help out CeeDee. And CeeDee is going to eat. As soon as they shadow the other side of the field, CeeDee is going to be open. He's going to play primarily from the slot or on the right side, and he's just going to eat. That's what CeeDee is going to do in that offense. And Pickens is going to be a secondary target. We have to remember that secondary option because CeeDee eats a lot. I don't think that goes anywhere. I think Pickens just helps the equation. And I think you're losing if you want to bet on DeAndre Swift. He's almost a dynasty forget you. Like you're not getting much value for him. So the upside of Laporta, Jameson Williams, and a fresh new set of legs in Caleb Johnson, I'm going that side.
Okay. So,
but it's close. It's close. It's a smooth move for whoever traded Swift and Swift, Pickens, and the rookie tight end for established players. Like I think it's a great move.
Yeah.
Who was that? Mr. Operator? Yeah, Mr. Operator. I'm on Mr. Operator's side, and Haskins.
Laporta, Williams. You're getting a double dose of Lions right there. So it's like as long as that new offensive system still can run as good as the last year's offensive system, then that's fine. That's the only kind of little bit of risk that you're kind of taking there. But the players themselves are studs. You know, Laporta is going to be a top 5, if not top 3 tight end. And then Jameson Williams definitely has a potential to be a top 15 tight end. So
I think
Warren, 15 receiver, I should say. Go ahead.
Warren has the possibility of like encompassing that Brock Bowers type thing where he's just going to be a check down dream. You know what I mean? Like
sure.
A ton of targets, a ton of receptions, maybe not a lot of touchdowns because again, it's Daniel Jones back there. You know more about Daniel Jones than anybody, right? So like you know what you're getting with that. So, but I feel like there's a little bit of upside, but
he couldn't hit Evan Ingram. And we saw what Evan Ingram did in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
I see what he's doing in Denver too.
Yeah, he was so bad he made Darren Waller go to retirement and go to Miami. He's like Tua's a better option here.
Yeah, like I think it's a smooth move for the operator in that situation. And if you look at it, we can even talk like almost apples to apples with George Pickens and Jameson Williams.
Mm-hmm.
The only difference is George Pickens did it when no one else was around him for competition of targets except for Pat Freiermuth. And who? Deontay Johnson? He bounced.
Yeah.
As soon as George Pickens got there, he said bye.
Yeah.
Didn't he? He just took off his jersey and left. Oh, but anyway.
We saw him in Carolina for a few weeks. And
exactly.
And he was on again.
And then he was in Dallas.
And the Browns. And the Browns. Isn't he on the Browns?
And Baltimore, which was weird. Like he was on 4 teams last year.
And only played in one game, if that.
If that. Yeah,
4 teams, 4 snaps, and he's done. But no, and I think Jameson Williams is really coming into his own and actually earned his stripes in that offense. We saw the rookie gambling BS, and then all of a sudden he grew up, and he's like, okay, this is what I need to do. I need to pass block. You don't see George Pickens pass blocking.
No.
He's not. He is the guy to sidestep the block. Be careful.
Mike, that's to look forward to.
I think, I mean, just, comparing Jameson Williams and George Pickens, I think if you want to go out there in a dynasty league and really make a trade to eye open the rest of your league mates, if you have George Pickens, and now I just got an offer for George Pickens, so I hope the guy's listening. He asked me, what do you want? I said, I want a late first. And he said, well, I don't have a late first. And I said, well, or the equivalent, give me a second and a player. Now, if I am going to get a second from this guy, it's going to be a higher end pick. He's not winning because I took second last year. I'm at least going to take second this year.
You can
But
book it.
oh yeah, well, no, not with the Sharks in my league, no. But anyway, I would say that Jameson Williams and a high-end second may go in some of your dynasty home leagues for George Pickens, and I'm okay with that because if you're really looking at it, they're almost the same player.
It's just what offensive system do you have more confidence in, I guess, is what it really comes down to. So.
I think it's obviously the offensive system I have the most confidence is one of the highest offensives that we saw last year, the Lions. Not too much has changed. I get it, the coordinator changed and this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
But but we know that Jameson Williams ate in that system regardless. And he is on an uptrend instead of George Pickens, who has been on a downtrend and now fighting for targets with the best wide receiver in the league. So, think about it. If you have Pickens, you just scored, and I would try to flip him for Jameson Williams plus.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, guys, we're pretty much to that hour mark, so we're going to go ahead and wrap the show up here. I do appreciate you guys joining and coming on the show with us. Chef James and Mike Tipton, please, if you could do me.
Come back.
Please come back to the clubhouse. We really do love having you in here and chopping it up football. Chef, could you please let the good people once again know where they can find you and your friends to talk fantasy football?
Yeah, sure. Sundays in season at the Tilt is Real on YouTube. You can check us out on the X app, Facebook, all those friendly socials. You can follow me on the X at FF_chef. And like and subscribe on YouTube if you like it. If you don't like it, still subscribe and then delete it later. I don't care. But I've been doing this for a while. I love doing it. I do it for just to help at least one person every season either get better at fantasy football, learn something about fantasy football, or just have a great time starting a league and meeting new people. Like that. That's what fantasy for me is all about. And I enjoy helping people level up.
Absolutely. And that's facts. You guys can catch this guy like every Sunday. If you're tilting, that is their specialty. If you cannot decide which way to go, do I go right? Do I go left? These guys at the Tilt is Real will be able to help you out, give you their advice, answer your start, sit questions, or any other questions that you may have. Their chat gets flooded, so you may have to be a little bit of patience.
It does pick up. It does. Over the years, it's picked up. I mean, we've won a lot of people championships.
No, yeah. They will get to your question, though, like I said. So check them out, guys. Like I said, the Tilt is Real on Facebook or on YouTube. You won't be disappointed, guaranteed. Money Mike Tipton, please tell the good people at the clubhouse where they can find you at.
Every Monday through Friday, the Tipping Point with Mike Tipton, 8 o'clock Mountain Time, because I live in that weird part of Texas that's Mountain Time, 10 o'clock Eastern. Everywhere we are on all the various social media, on YouTube, all that stuff. We're going to start launching on Apple TV, Roku, and Google Plus as well. So you can check us out on some of those places. Every Saturday, Fire and Ice at noon, 2 o'clock Eastern, because I got to make sure I get that out there. We are live from Buffalo Wild Wings. Got to give them a shout out for hosting us and doing all that stuff. And, of course, you can follow me on all the social media at Mr. Tipton33. That's all over the place. I've got it locked up everywhere at Mr. Tipton33. I always put up some stuff. I'm going to be putting up something to just piss off Cowboys fans and the people that hate the Cowboys as well, because I just love doing that. So if you check out some of my stuff on Instagram, you can see I'm poking the bear, but it's because this is sports. I don't play it anymore, so I shouldn't take it that damn seriously. It's a playground. Come on now.
And for any Jaguars fans that may be out there, you can also check out Mike Tipton.
Yes, that's right. Our second favorite team, the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yes. Those guys.
We're saying Duval, like Liam Cohen. Not know how to say it.
Duval?
Well, guys. That was close. I like it. You have a New York accent there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, you know,
I think it's pronounced double.
Duval.
Duval. Well, guys, again, thank you for joining us again. I do appreciate it. If you haven't hit the thumbs up button, please hit the thumbs up button. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to not only the Clubhouse, but over at the Tilt is Real and Mike Tipton at the Tipping Point. Guys, hope you have a good weekend. Enjoy this last week of preseason football before the real thing starts up here towards the beginning of next month here, September kickoff. So again, guys, be safe, be good. But if you can't be good, damn it, at least be good at it.
You got to decide whether you're a wolf or a sheep.
All wolves at the Clubhouse.
This has been a Chicago Clubhouse Network production.